Assalamualaikum warahmatullaahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nurfadilah Lestari with the NPM 2021125000063 and I'm from class R4A. In this video, I will to explain about developing and strategies for receptive skill reading in senior high school. This video is to fulfill a final exam assignment for the academic speaking course. Reading is a very important need for students, so there needs to be efforts to invite students to have reading habits and pleasure. Especially in English lessons, reading is very necessary because English teaching today is very different from previous teaching. Reading comprehension is one of the English skills taught in school. Sumariani 2015, Permana et al. 2019. The purpose of teaching English for students is to understand the types of text. Students must also be able to use these types of text in everyday life. So now students have a heavier burden in learning English. Students should also have a larger vocabulary. To improve vocabulary, students must be able to read well. To be able to read well, students must have the pleasure and ability to read. There are still many students who do not like to read for various reasons that affect a student's learning results. One of them is caused by lack of motivation and ability to read, especially for reading comprehension. In addition, another cause is because the time provided is also very limited. The classroom atmosphere is also very boring because usually learning is only done in the classroom with very limited material or materials. So that students have the willingness and interest to read, namely by inviting students to read more reading materials through extensive reading. As David S.K. put it in The Bamford 1998, reading must be developed and can only be developed by means of extensive and continual practice. People learn to read and to read better by reading. Furthermore, Satono 1995 also states that schools should provide more reading materials for students so that they have as many opportunities as possible to read along with the main subject matter to read. Extensive reading must be increased to achieve the goal of reading ability. It is impossible to achieve if there is no balance between intensive and extensive reading. According to Day and Bamford 1998, extensive reading is reading a very large amount in a foreign language, while Hornby 1995 states that extensive means 1. Large in area and 2. Large in amount or scale. Extensive reading or ER is a second language reading approach. When the reader reads extensively, it means that he is reading a light and fun book to build his reading speed and fluency. Another way to express it is that students learn to read carefully instead of examining the text by studying vocabulary, grammar, and phrases. Comparing intensive reading or IR to extensive reading is instructive. Extensive reading gives us the opportunity to see grammar relationships in sentences so as to deepen our understanding of how grammar is actually used. The benefit of extensive reading activities is that as readers, we can get complete information from news that has the same topic. This technique is usually used to broaden horizons and solve problems theoretically. Then, how to read using extensive methods? There is one technique that can be used, namely the point technique. The point technique is the initials of the sequence of activities. Purpose: determine the purpose of reading. What information do you want? Add overview, skim through, and then interpretation to interpret, and notes to notes, make important notes as reminders, and then the test after reading. We try to answer questions related to the reading. The conclusion is extensive reading is the activity of reading as much as possible. In extensive reading activities, Students who do extensive reading activities will read as much as possible and read for pleasure. In addition, students' motivation and willingness to read are better. Students become more enthusiastic in following the learning process. Through extensive reading has been able to make students more interested in reading. Thank you for watching. Sorry if there are mistakes in pronunciation. I hope this video helps all of you. See you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullaahi wabarakatuh.